Welcome and join us on our journey as we interview everyday people and ask them that very question of who am I?
Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? My name is Natasha Ruffin. I am 39 years old. I am from Nassau. I am a nurse by profession, but currently I work as an electronic health record specialist. Fancy title, just saying that I deal with training, data analysis of health information systems, and a couple other things, and then I also write. Particularly my professional journey, because I started out in healthcare at 19, so it's about like 20 years ago. My dad told me to volunteer with the AIDS Secretariat. I speak Haitian Creole fluently, and they needed someone to translate for the doctors and nurses. So I would go in once a week, help them with that, and I found that I really liked it. And then over time, I went and got my degree. And I found that the life lessons I've learned in the healthcare field in general is to always be prepared to help persons in whatever way, shape, or format.
You spoke Creole fluently. You able to say maybe who am I or a small liner in Creole?
Yeah, I could say Kimun Moye, which basically says, who am I? My biggest regret is not completing my degree earlier, but I've come to realize that everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So I would have wanted to go back and complete my degree in my 20s, did not go back until my late 20s, completed my nursing degree at about 33. But I found that my journey has been an inspiration to a lot of nursing students who've come up. My phone is filled with nursing students and persons who are now registered nurses who would know that they could call me, and anytime they felt low, they'd know, okay, if Natasha did it at 30 something with a full-time job and everything else she had going on personally, I could do it also. So it was a regret, but in a way, it still ended up being a really good thing in the end. Career-wise, between 2022 and 23, I was awarded for my work with COVID. So I got to meet the prince and princess when they came at a royal audience for the healthcare workers who volunteered in the first wave of COVID. Then I won Above and Beyond Nurse of the Year at my former workplace. I also won I was nominated and I received an award by the University of Bahamas School of Nursing. They awarded me an award for my work with nursing education. So the students of that graduating class of 2023 chose me as the most influential nurse in the psych area. Then I also won I think it's called the Managing Director's Customer Service Award in 2023. So it was like between 2022 and 2023, it was like a lot of things happening. And it made me realize that healthcare is where I'm supposed to be at in some way, shape, or form. I do have the goal of one day completing a PhD in nursing research so that I could come back as a lecturer. But I find that everything had a purpose, and everything that happened to me in some way, shape, or form helped shape who I am now. So like the students I still keep in contact with, I mentor. It's so funny, there have been students that I've never met, but they got my number from their friend or a friend of a friend who knows, okay, if you have a question, you could always message Nurse Ruffin. And even now in my role as an EHR specialist, I still have nurses who call me just to kind of get information on what the EHR platform looks like, how could you utilize it in nursing, like different things like that. And persons know that I'm always open, always willing to help. And because of that, God always places me in places where I can be of assistance. So I know my calling, so to speak, is of a greater purpose. I don't know fully what it is, but I do know whatever it is that I'm supposed to do, I'm trying to walk along those lines. Some of the best advice I would give and have been given is to run your race focused on the end goal. Why I would say that is, if my end goal is to one day be a nursing lecturer or to one day have this PhD in nursing research, everything I do should be geared towards that. Every area I'm in, I should be able to glean some kind of information that one day when I'm in front of these students professionally, I could bring back to them, and it's multifaceted. I find that when you begin with the end in sight, you're able to make better choices and be able to put yourself in places where persons could utilize you and you could utilize them. So, and then I also been reminded by my mentor, particularly during COVID, I was afraid, I'm not gonna lie, I was very afraid to volunteer in that first wave. And she said, Natasha, if not you, then who? Are you willing? And I was like, yeah, but I don't know what to do. She said, well, they'll train you. And that's what happened. I got the training. My license, I'm not gonna lie, I sat my licensure exam in December, got my license as a registered nurse that February, March, COVID hit. So my license was basically, the ink wasn't even dry on it. But because I was willing, because I didn't care about my own, I would say what I felt was inadequacies, I wasn't embarrassed to say, hey, I don't understand how to do that. Explain this to me, show me how to do this. And I learned, because every bit of knowledge I'm amassing along this journey, someday, some way, it's gonna help someone else along their road. So that would be the advice I give.
If you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and join us on our journey as we create more content on our way to getting our first play button.